gods gave us many gifts. One day you'll know them all. This is where we keep them.
It's beautiful. Who would wield it?
Only the fiercest among us even could. And that is not you, Diana. You will train her harder than any Amazon before her. 5 times harder. 10 times harder.
Never let your guard down. You expect the battle to be fair!
Until she is better than even you. But she must never know the truth about what she is.
What is this place? Who are you?
It is our sacred duty to defend the world.
Right. Whoever you are in more danger than you think.
Be careful, Diana.
If no one else will defend the world, then I must.
Welcome to jolly old London.
It's hideous.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Step back. Or maybe not. Is there anything else you want to show me?
I am Diana of Themyscira, daughter of Hippolyta. In the name of all that is good, your wrath upon this world is over.
Yep, that's not gonna work. Please put the sword down.
It doesn't go with the outfit.
At all.
What's going on, guys? What about that trailer, though, right? Like, oh my god. So we got what I believe is the final Wonder Woman trailer right there. And can I just point out, before we start breaking this shit down, thank you, DC, for not showing the villain in this trailer if it is the final trailer, because that is one problem I had with BVS, was showing me Doomsday at the freaking trailer, in the final trailer. And this one, they didn't show Ares. They haven't really shown Ares, if I'm, to be correct, that there's another actor playing Ares, and there might be a little switcheroo where they're making you think one dude is Ares, but it's actually this other guy, which the other guy is confirmed to be Ares. But, I don't know if Ares can jump bodies and shit. Anyways, so, freaking, this is the Wonder Woman trailer, and I have to say, I'm pretty pumped. The more I watch this trailer, the more I'm getting a little bit excited about this movie, because of the little things that are in it. Let's go ahead and break this shit down. So the trailer starts off with a young Wonder Woman and her mother, Hippolyta, in, Themyscira, and she's showing her all of the freaking God's gifts of weapons that they have. And her mother kind of just flat out tells her, like, when Diana asks, like, who will wield them, she's like, not you, all right? It's not gonna be you. I really love that line, but I'll explain why I did later on in the video. After that, we see a little training montage of young Wonder Woman into adult Wonder Woman, and, it's just constant training with her, and apparently we hear the narration that she needs to be trained 5 times harder, even 5 times better than you are, blah, blah, blah. So we see this cool little training montage. Now, in this training montage, I want to point out something. This black Amazon right here is Artemis. Now, before you're like, what the fuck? That's Artemis? What, they fucking changed her origin and like blah, 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 her skin color and all this shit? What the fuck? Chill out. For one, you shouldn't be pissed that they changed her skin color. And two, there's 2 Artemises in DC, from my knowledge. Now, I will say that there is the Artemis that everybody loves if you watch Young Justice, and that is the Archer Artemises, whose dad is freaking Sportsmaster, not the same Artemis we're talking about here. This Artemis is also known as Alsip, and she is a guard. She's of the Queen's Guard, of the Amazonian Queen's Guard. So she is the person that is supposed to take on the task of training Wonder Woman in secret. Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman, was the one that confirmed that this is Artemis. And now the interesting thing about this is, if she is the one that's supposed to train Wonder Woman, in this trailer montage, it seems like there is a bunch of people training her. So maybe she's the one that starts out training her, or maybe it is who you see right here, you know, Wonder Woman's aunt, Antiope, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm terrible with Greek names. But maybe she's the one that tells her, like, you need to start training her. Or maybe all of the Amazons are just training Wonder Woman behind, you know, her mother's back, because it seems like her mother does not want her to fight. With that training montage, it ends with her aunt beating her down with the sword, telling her how fighting's not going to be fair. And she does the classic Wonder Woman X and fucking blasts everybody away with her damn bracelets. And possibly that is the first time that she finds out that those bracelets are, like, you know, they're powerful and shit. Now, there's one thing that I really, really want to talk about with these bracelets. One thing that has been confirmed about the Wonder Woman movie is a lot of the source material is coming from the New 52 comics. That is very different from the Golden Age stuff. The one thing about the New 52 comics and these bracelets that is really interesting is because, yes, Wonder Woman has always been able to block shit with her bracelets, but in the New 52, her bracelets were actually a freaking suppressor of her true power. And that is something I really want to know if they are going to do and bring into this freaking universe. Because, okay, so one thing you'll notice in these trailers, when she's already a teenager right here, it looks like these are the teenage years, she's wearing the bracelets already. And that makes me wonder if she's actually, maybe she had an incident where she showed her true power or something like that, and they're like, oh shit, we gotta suppress this chick. So they gave her some bracelets to kind of hold that down, because in the New 52, they're called the bracelets of submission. And that means it's just holding in her true power, because from the New 52 origin, which is more than likely going to happen in this movie, because, you know, you hear her mom or you hear somebody talking about how Wonder Woman can never know the truth, and that truth is more than likely that she is the daughter of Zeus and her mother is Hippolyta. So she is half god and she's a demigod, and that's why they have bracelets for her, and that is suppressing her power. Now, in the New 52 comics, which you guys might not know, is when she takes off these bracelets, Wonder Woman is a bad motherfucker, because she can fight people like Superman with these damn bracelets off, meaning her power is almost unmatched. That is going to be insane, especially if they are bringing that into this universe, because it could we ever see a maybe, you know, hypnotic Superman having to fight Wonder Woman, and she's just like, all right, bitch, boom, and then they go toe to toe? That would be awesome if they ever do that. But that's just one thing I wanted to point out. Next up, we're introduced to Steve Trevor. You know, of course, Wonder Woman sees his plane crash. She saves him. First time she's seen a man. You know, this is a lot of stuff we've seen in the previous trailers. Since that first trailer, I have been really curious to why, you know, army men are at Themyscira and why they're gonna fight. Now, I don't know if it's maybe that they saw Steve Trevor's plane crash, so they showed up on this island. I don't really know what the case is here and why they're going to go ahead and fight. That's my best assumption. And then, of course, there's going to be all this war, and I think that the Amazons are going to kill all of them. Of course, they'll lose some of their own people in the process. And I think that whole scene where Steve Trevor is in front of that council or whatever is probably post that little war fight scene on the beach, and Wonder Woman is all like, why are you here? You know, what is this blah, blah you're talking about? And that is when she's going to find out that the war is at war, you know, the freaking world is at war and all of that shit, and that's when she's going to make her decision to go fight. Next up, we see that little clip of Dr. Poison, and we do know that she is going to be one of the villains in this movie. Although she's going to be like a smaller villain, she's going to be just like a patsy to the bigger villain, which is Ares. You know, he's just getting her to create this kind of stuff, or, you know, putting the ideas in her head or whatever. So we do see a little glimpse of Dr. Poison there, and then it goes on to the scenes of Wonder Woman stealing all of her stuff, and this is how, you know, she gets all of her armor and her weapons and her shield and everything. Of course, she had her bracelets before that, but I think at this scene is when she's stealing all this stuff, I feel like her mother is going to find out that she stole it, or is going to confront her, maybe in that area or slightly after she changes into all of it, because she's got to change into the armor. But because we see this scene right here where her mother is telling her, like, be careful, Diana. So she knows that she's gonna leave. It's not like she just leaves in secret. So I think that's how that whole thing's gonna go down. And then it goes on to, you know, Wonder Woman getting introduced to London and saying how it's hideous. And that's you know, just the little things of how the humor is gonna be in this game. It's not gonna be like slapstick, silly humor like Marvel does, which it works for Marvel, but DC wants a little bit of humor in there that's just a little bit more like sly, that fits with their tone of movies. So you're gonna see a lot of that in Wonder Woman. You also see that at the very end of the trailer with the comedy relief that is going to be Steve Trevor's other secretary. Her name's Effie. No, Effie, that's freaking Hunger Games. I'm forgetting the other person's name right now, but you know, she's gonna be all comedy relief in this movie, and that is what you see at the end of the trailer. Basically, the rest of the trailer is just a lot of montage of the action. We get to see the character that I feel like they are making you think is the bad guy. I thought he was Ares, but then they confirmed another actor was Ares, and I don't know if they're gonna do like a switcheroo where Ares is maybe talking through this one person, but it's actually this other guy. I don't really know, because this one dude straight up fights Wonder Woman one-on-one, so I'm like, the dude's gotta have some kind of strength, right? So I don't know, we'll see what his deal is. Maybe he's just like a disciple of Ares and he's got some power too. I don't really know. But they haven't really shown Ares, like who Ares is going to be in this movie. Like, we know who he's going to be. It's going to be this guy right here, but he hasn't been in the trailers from my knowledge, and if this is the final trailer, we're not going to see him. And my biggest thing is I'm just glad we didn't see Ares in his armor or anything, and that's going to be saved for the movie, which is just one of my biggest like thank yous. And the one thing I want to point out about this movie that gets me really excited is that from this trailer alone, you don't even need to see the other ones, is I feel like this movie is going to be a well-rounded movie. Now, whether you like them or hate them or whatever, everybody has their opinions about BVS and Suicide Squad. I love BVS, but a lot of people said, oh, it had holes. I was able to fill those holes with my comic book knowledge. Freaking Suicide Squad, I wasn't a fan of the editing and the music and the way they did it together. The story was kind of weak in Suicide Squad, but I think if the editing was better, the movie would have been better for me. Wonder Woman, with, like I said, with this trailer alone, I feel like it's going to be a well-rounded story, because earlier, like I said, you have that whole line of, you know, Hippolyta telling Wonder Woman, you aren't going to be the one to wield these swords, kind of like, you know, kind of like lighting a fire in Diana's ass, like, all right, bitch, I am going to. And that's a perfect conflict of mother and daughter. Like, that is one thing that happens in real life, and I like that that conflict's going to be in this movie. And then we're going to have the love story with Steve Trevor. You're going to have Wonder Woman going into a world that is not very accepting of women at the time, in the time period, or I should say era, and it's going to just be, it feels like a well-rounded story. And then, of course, she's got to rise up to show everybody that she is, you know, this Amazonian princess that can, you know, save the world by herself and shit like that. And that's what I'm really excited about. It feels like we're going to have a full-blown story. We're going to see the origin story of Wonder Woman, which a lot of people hate origin stories, but that doesn't really bother me here because Wonder Woman has never had a movie before, so giving her an origin story with her first very movie makes a lot of sense. Now, if we had seen a bunch of Wonder Woman movies before this, I wouldn't want to see an origin story, but I'm totally okay with it here, and I think it's going to be like the first act of the movie. We're going to see her grow up, and then, you know, the second and third acts will be, you know, the second act will be getting introduced to London and the whole new world. The third act will be like the big fight scenes and everything like that. So that is how I see the movie playing out, but I'm totally down with this movie. It seems like we're going to be able to see her grow up, see her... We're going to see her grow up and become the Wonder Woman we all know and love. And I'm just hoping that this is just a hit. I'm just hoping that this is a hit. I hope critics love it. It seems like it's going to be a well-rounded story. And I'm just hoping that everything flows together and that it's going to be a solid movie. It looks great. It looks fucking amazing. I mean, personally, I don't care what critics say. I just want it to be a hit with critics, so we can stop this whole like, oh, DC doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, blah, 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 kind of shit that's going on. So, you know, I hope it hits there. I think this movie looks like it's going to be badass. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited. And we only got about 3 months until we get to see this. So, it's going to be good. But anyways, guys, let me know what you thought of this trailer in the comment sections down below. Guys and gals, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with all your Wonder Woman buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bye!